Hello everybody, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. You know it, it's different than every other week, every other Monday for the past 4.5 years. Why? Why is it different? Because Into the AM is giving me a hoodie. That's what they're doing, they're giving me a hoodie. And in exchange for the hoodie, I'm going to tell you about, well that's not it. Where are you, Into the AM? Into the AM, my beautiful. In exchange, I'm going to tell you about their Black Friday sale. Did you know that Black Friday is a month long and Cyber Monday is a week long? Because that's what's happening at Into the AM. Yeah, I have talked about Into the AM a lot. They sponsored the channel a bunch where they paid me money, and then they now just give me clothes, and I have an affiliate link. And I don't care because they keep giving me clothes. And if they keep giving me clothes, then I'm going to keep talking about them because I've essentially replaced my entire wardrobe with Into the AM stuff, and I don't regret it. I bought this Henley myself. In fact, they didn't even give this one to me. But yeah, I'll wear this cosmic hoodie. Where are their hoodies? Fall. I said, give me some fall stuff Into the AM. And then I said, fall for me. I like that jacket. I wear that jacket a lot. I love all their stuff. Man, I love their freaking stuff. It's so good. Cosmic Surge. Yeah, I'm gonna get this sweet hoodie because did you know that they're graphics, they aren't just graphic tees, they're graphic hoodies as well. I have one zip-up hoodie from them and I like it, and so I'm excited to get this. I don't wear pullovers as much, but I like it with the potential design. So yeah, I'm excited to check this out, and I think it's cool, and they're having a sale, and you can use the code SLIPPERYJIM to save yourself 10% off, and that's generally in addition to their savings as well. So what I tend to do is I just go, and I go to their little sale tab, and, oh, I think it's switched to Canadian dollars now. The Henleys are on sale again! Come on! Yeah, and you can just check out their stuff, use the additional 10% off. Their prices are really good. I think they're a really good company. I like them a lot. And if you don't get it now, well, you can get it the next time they send stuff my way. And maybe then I'll show off my cute little shorts that they gave me. Ooh! Yeah. But yeah, Into the AM's great. If you haven't heard of them, I don't know where you've been living. Certainly not on this channel, because I can't stop yapping about them. Because I genuinely love them. And if I didn't love it, then I wouldn't talk about it. Like, you know me, I don't talk about anything. I don't love anything. Really, I have a lot of hate in my heart. But I do have love for Into the AM. And you know who else I've got love for? One, me, because I just checked that I'm actually recording. And two, my newest patrons. I want to give a huge shout out to Bjorn and to Andre. Thank you so much for jumping on board, supporting the channel. It is really meaningful to me when people who have watched this channel for a long time, I'm looking at you, and throw a couple bucks my way per month. That sort of thing can really add up and make a meaningful difference in my life and help me continue to justify all the time that I spend digging through crowdfunding campaigns. I try to look through everything. I legitimately try to look through everything, which is why last week was insane. It was so much we couldn't even fit into the description. So you got to go to the master list. I have this Crowdfunding Countdown master list where we've covered all the campaigns that we've covered, and that was 40-something campaigns, 44 campaigns we covered last week, which is just nuts, bringing our total to 3,400 campaigns, just over it, of what, if you've watched Crowdfunding Countdown, you have had all of those campaigns touch you in some way. So yeah, huge shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you for supporting the channel. And if you can't support the channel, that's okay. I get it. I watch a lot of content and I don't support it because I'm like, someone else is doing it. But if you can afford to support it, then that's great. So let's get into the week. What are we starting with this week? This silly little week. We are starting with this one, Garden Geckos. I feel like this has been on here before, maybe. Some sort of thing. A reprint. Look at that. It's not. I swear, it's not the reprint that tipped me off. Generally, I don't look at anything. I don't look at a single thing until it gets to the Crowdfunding Countdown. People are like, "Are you excited about games?" Except for one game, which is on this list. That, man, I'm gonna have such a friggin' hard time backing. And I've been trying to get them to send me. I've been trying to use my board gaming YouTube channel for what it is designed for, which is to save me money, and get a review copy sent my way, because I'm like, listen, it's gonna be a great review, and they're the first company that was like, yeah, this guy's gonna just buy it anyway. And he's gonna talk about us anyway, so why would we ever send it to him? I mean, valid, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Anyway, I don't know this Garden Geckos, but we can try to find it here. Yeah, Garden Geckos, it was in episode 135. I imagine it's very simple. I just kind of want to see if it was on GameFound or Kickstarter. Hey, God of War, the board game. That'll turn out well. All right, I imagine the same thing. A reprint and expansion of the popular puzzly tile-laying game of Geckos and Bugs in the Garden. Yeah, it raised 50,000 Canadian last time, and it's broken its goal now. It's 30,000. So we'll check it out. I think it's just going to be too expensive. Yeah, I remember this. It looks okay. This is a significantly better box design for sure. It makes it feel like it's not for small children. So I'm surprised it's not doing as good. The expansion makes it $70.50 US. The interesting part here is you're creating chains with your geckos. You basically put tiles down, you're plopping geckos on them, and you're going to score points for big groups of stuff. But you also want to put like a gecko in between the bugs and then complete the objective cards for geckos. Connecting bugs to bugs, but it doesn't really seem that exciting to me. This Dewdrop and Koi Pond expansion seems like little modules, and that's why the price uptick is just another $10. Really, it's probably created so that they can put it back on Kickstarter, because Kickstarter has a thing where you can't just do the same campaign again, and so you have to do something different. That's why so many games do little soundtracks. However, it's nice that they're doing free shipping for just the expansion. That's great, even though it seems like a $10 add-on, and it's going to cost you $28. But that's where the free shipping comes in. Still $70 plus 10 US, like $80 for a very simple tile-laying game. The pieces look very cute, but I think you should just get anything. If you want something overpriced with good pieces, just get anything from Bad Comet, I think, is the play. Similar thing, you know me, I'm too cheap to ever be able to consider such a game, but if you're interested, that finishes Wednesday, November 5th at 12 p.m. We're not going to talk about DJ Icon, because unfortunately it did the $1 pre-pledge, and we don't cover things like that. This is Baseball Diamant having a stretch goal. It was before. This was... What? I swear this game was just on GameFound in a completely different packaging. Okay, close. Okay, we're going to check this out. We've got Battle Box, Napoleonic Wars. I don't normally cover board games that much. Well, I'll mention them, and then I won't spend too much in depth on them. But this says a complete war game in your pocket. All you need to play exciting battles in the age of black powder. And if there's one sort of powder I love, it's black powder. What do you want, talcum powder? No, give me cannonballs, or give me, well, you'll probably give me death by giving me cannonballs, but that's neither here nor there. Battle Box Napoleonic Wars is a complete war game in a small tin box. 24 units in 2 colors, red versus blue. 18 terrain cards to generate random terrain, or give form to your own designs in historical battlefields. 3 dice to keep track of the turn, fire muskets, and charge with fixed bayonets at brave enemy assaults. Why are the rules a GIF? I could screenshot, and then I could read them if I really cared. But I don't. We're moving on. We've got Spike Pong, Chaos on a Table by Spike Ball. Spike Pong is what happens when Spike Ball sneaks inside your house, jumps on your kitchen table, and refuses to leave. This sounds a little bit like Bounce Off, but yeah, my friend Josh loves Spike Ball, and this just looks like a small mini version of it, where you're going to bounce a ball off of the spike ball net and try to get it into the cup. Did I get it in one? Yep, that's pretty much it. Do you want a net with a couple balls that you can bounce on a table? I still think Bounce Off is better. You don't need a net. This has already been invented, Spike Pong. Why are you coming for Bounce? I swear, as God is my witness, that if Spike Pong gets a BGG entry, and if Spike Pong gets a better rating than the one and only Bounce Off, which I forgot about this entirely until right now. Also, Game Bounce. Game Bounce has a BGG entry now. It says it re-implements Bounce Off. And you can go and you can rate Game Bounce, and I'm torn. And I'm torn here because I can't rate the Temu version better than Bounce Off. So I gotta give it a 9. Temu Bounce Off, an accurate rating. But I swear, if Spike Pong gets a better score than Bounce Off, there's gonna be heck to pay. Wow, and if you want to get it for the holiday, well played. You can go to wherever Bounce Off is sold. I don't know. It's you know what? Did you hear that Bounce Off's out of print? Did you hear that? It's a rare gem. Okay, we're going to move on. Again, not to Druid Path, unfortunately, because it did the $1 pre-pledge, and we don't cover stuff like that. But we'll check out what this is. Pale Wake, a print-and-play deduction game of fear and suspense on a cursed ship, inspired by the legend of Dracula's voyage. Oh, it's this same guy. It's the same guy. Okay, that makes sense. This guy, he writes exclusively murder mystery parties for 7 people. I assume they're all rethemed. I don't know why that is. Maybe he has a group of 7 friends or 6 friends and he writes it for them and then he sells them. That would be a likely story. Or 7 friends, because then he wouldn't be able to participate because he would be doing the writing and he would know all the things that happen. So yeah, they're specific, they're very specific, but they are like murder mystery parties. I always get thrown by print and play because you buy the thing, how much are they? €10, 17 Canadian, but you buy the thing, it's like an evening and you print it out in packages for your people, you send them the files and whatever. I've never tried one. They seem, I mean, he keeps doing them, so that's a positive thing, right? Because that's the only thing you need as a marker of something working, is if you keep doing it the same way. If you keep doing things the same way, it was probably a perfect system and doesn't need to change. So if you're interested in that, it finishes Thursday, November 6th at 11:59 a.m. Oakley Dokley, let's go to Trailblazer. This is in the John Muir Trail. This is the Colorado Trail. Take a scenic hike through Centennial State, trekking through mountains, national forests, and the wilderness. Which, according to the news, national forests won't exist anymore, but it'll be the Pepsi forest that you can go through. Oh, this is from Tabletop Tycoon Games. Cool. I don't know, I heard the founder was a bit of a jerk, but they make really good stuff, so... But that's what people keep saying in the comments. I read it in the comments. What's that deep pull? If you know, let me know. Use your resources to wisely experience the most nature has to offer. $49. It says it's going to retail at $75. I doubt that. Well, I actually don't doubt that. Tycoon stuff is expensive. $49 for the John Muir Trail. Are you kidding me? What is up with this week so far? I mean, it makes it easier for me, but like, it's really annoying when there's no rule book on the page, right? Why is that a thing? Why do you think you're not doing well? Because you're not telling anybody, like, there's not even a video here. You're like, you got Trailblazer before? This also has Trailblazer on it. You like Andrew Bosley? Get it, right? Like, how is that a sensible way to promote a game? Maybe it isn't. Maybe they're just gonna put this at retail and they just figured they'd throw up a nonsense campaign and see who decided to pre-order without any knowledge. What the heck in heck? Do we want to check out the rulebook? Click here. Why is this not on the main page, Tycoon Games? Why do I have to check the updates? You're freaking lucky. The game's played over 5 rounds, each representing a week on it. Like, it's insane to me. It's insane. It's right there. It's such low-hanging fruit. You're so close. It feels good to read a rulebook, though. Like, I don't know if I've ever gone on a run where there haven't been rulebooks on the page. Well, Garden Geckos, I guess, had the rulebook, to be fair. Now this feels more normal. Now I feel settled. Okay, a player's turn consists of playing an action card, placing an action marker or hiker token at the location, matching the action on the top half of the action card, and performing the action at that location. If you still have your double action marker available, you can place it on the same action card to take the bottom section. Okay, cool. I love dual use cards. I love that you have a choice of when to activate the super powerful one. A little bit of a worker placement thing. Okay, so you get resources, you spend the resources on a discover action, which will give you an additional reward. You're trying to get these Vista cards, which will help you move along different tracks, symbolizing you moving along a trail. Sure, so you're getting resources, you're using those resources to move up on 3 different tracks. Yeah, it seems okay. Seems kind of standard, basic, not something that I would ever feel the need to get at Kickstarter, but if you see it on sale in a store, sure. I don't really think that they're offering you much to incentivize you getting a Kickstarter, but if you're interested, you can check it out. The finish is Thursday, November 6th at 12 p.m. Really, there's nothing to incentivize you getting a Kickstarter except you paying shipping when your local store doesn't. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm not. We're going to move on to B.E.L.O. See how B.E.L.O.'s doing. It's hitting $2.9 million Canadian. We can check out the little stretch goals that have been unlocked. A decent amount of stretch goals have been unlocked. The Awakened Realm sort of scaling their campaigns based around how many stretch goals they're going to offer. I did a 5 reasons you shouldn't back on B.E.L.O. a little while ago when it hit $1 million. And I thought it looked good. I thought it looked fine. You can go check out that for a more in-depth look at B.E.L.O. But if you want the quick Coles notes, if you don't like going up on tracks, if you don't like inherent randomness in your events, in your Euro games where you're trying to plan out strategically what's going to happen, and then there's a lot of random elements that will stop you from doing that, don't get it. If that you think that sounds interesting, sure, it's a co-op game. The characters might be interesting enough. Here the stretch goal is 20 plus high quality models, 2 new agents, a unique map, monarch, and more. I think the new characters are potentially worth it because you're going to get an additional deck of characters. The new boss is probably not as impactful as I would expect it would be. I don't know. They're going to be new monsters that are running around the basement, and we'll have a shifting on how the game behaves. So yeah, the new bosses give that variability in a way that Cthulhu Death May Die gives that variability. And that's why some people are relating it to Cthulhu Death May Die. I think the core interesting part here for me, the thing that I would like, is being slurped back and forth between this upside down world that your stress or whatever it's called, I forget the terminology now, it's been a little bit, but your shimmer moves up, and then you'll transition from one world to the next. I think that is pretty neat. You're all going to have your action points too, which will do a variety of things. Yeah, I think it looks fine. I don't think you need the minis for it. I think if you're going to get it, you should opt for the standee pledge. Standee pledge is coming in at €60 right now, which is 97 Canadian plus shipping. I don't know. When you think about it, this is from the designer of SETI, and it will probably be, I only bring that up because of like the amount of components, it'll probably be around a similar price point to SETI, which is like 80 to 90 Canadian. So I would imagine getting a group buy would be the best course of action, or getting your retail store to order this for you so you don't have to pay the shipping. If you are interested, the core pledge seems like a decent enough value. Again, with Awakened Realms, the stretch goals that you get generally add enough to the game to justify the cost of getting it at Kickstarter. But it just looks okay. Like, I'm not tempted by this game whatsoever, really. There are literally 100 games I would rather play before I play this. And that's saying a lot. I'm sure more. Well, 100 new games, I should mean. But yeah, it seems okay. The moving up on the track stuff and getting bonuses as you move up on a track seems fun. But I don't know. I'd rather play something else. If you're interested, the finish is on the 6th at 2 p.m. November. All right, we're going to check out what this is. This is Rook and Ruin. I don't know what this is, but it's live on GameFound. Can you outwit a dungeon that thinks like a grand master? Enter a labyrinth of crumbling halls and rogue chess pieces where every single move could be your last. In this purely solo print-and-play adventure, you don't just play a hero, you embody the legendary style of a chess grandmaster, each with their own unique starting moves and a brilliant ability. Okay, so you get 3 dungeon sheets. They're all going to have different chess pieces on them. You have this flowing arsenal, table-based dice rolling, deck building. Uses a progressive table, substitutes the cards. Sure, let's read the rules. I'm intrigued enough. Survive a dungeon of 2 to 3 levels and escape through the final exit, or capture the Black King. Okay, so essentially it's a little print-and-play game where you will have a map. You can't land on certain squares. You have a limited number of squares that you can land on, and you have to make your way puzzling through the different moves at your disposal. You're going to have a number of different moves. They're called echoes in this, and you can use one of them as you cycle through these little cards. Yeah, it seems okay. A little solo game of puzzling out your moves. Try not to land on the same space. That style of game. And it's €6. So if you feel like checking that out, that's over on GameFound. Also on GameFound, I'm probably not going to go into wild detail with this one because it is another war game, but this is Brandywine 1777, A Time for Heroes. When American history already spoke French, imagine the Continental and British armies face off, the river in the background, a daring maneuver that could change the course of war. Do you have what it takes to be a commander? I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. Are you an astute tactician? It's time to face a formidable opponent in Brandywine 1777, A Time for Heroes. You assume the role of George Washington facing a bold and elusive enemy. Activation cards are your principal tool, used to commit your forces at just the right moment, if you can anticipate the British plan. Alright, you assume the role of George Washington facing a bold and elusive enemy. Activation cards are your principal tool. I already said that. There's a way to delay your turns for other actions, delay your actions for other turns, I should say. So there's some asymmetry here. It's taking everything in me to not break into verses of Hamilton, especially when you hear, Lafayette, I'm taking this horse by the reins, making red coats red with blood stains. There are ways to mitigate your dice rolls here, which is cool. There's a cohesion set on your units to see how cohesive the group is. This is a great campaign. Tells you so much about the game, and it's about tactically advancing your armies through. If you like war games, check it out. I think it's astonishing that there still is a market for war games, honestly. But I know that they're trying to become more welcoming and bring more people in so that all of their players don't die off, and I think that's probably a good thing. That finishes on the 6th at 5 p.m. We're moving along to this, The Dawn of Pangaea, an enhancing strategy board game for 1 to 4 players set in the ancient world of Pangaea, where the lands are still wild and lush. This is exciting because Pangaea was like, I remember in 2021 when I started Crowdfunding Countdown 4 years ago. Wow. This was in, I think, episode 6. I always think of it as episode 1, but I think it was actually episode 6 in terms of, well, let's check it out right now. Why speculate? We have the data. No, it wasn't episode 1. Oh, what was in episode 6 that I was thinking about? Literally nothing. I'm just confused. It's the age. It's the age. Yeah, literally episode 1 of Crowdfunding Countdown, I remember, was Pangaea. It was Coalitions. It was Scarface 1920. Like, what a good week to start on. Yeah, so I think it's great. Oh, it's a different producer as well. The people who did Zoo Tycoon, the board game. Interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I thought the components were beautiful way back when. And let's see what it's like for this one. I'm in a very exciting video that tells me really nothing about the game. But, you know, it looks good. Oh, I was going to say, is this an expansion for Forest of Pangaea? No. You can get the expansion for Forest of Pangaea here as well, if you wanted. Oh, this campaign is already confusing, and it has too many options. But let's see what the gameplay is. At the dawn of time, the world of Pangaea was vast and inhabited. Not uninhabited. It was inhabited, and then everything disappeared. Only ruled by the winds, the snow, and the sun, and the rain. So it wasn't inhabited. I'd say it's uninhabited. I'm going to guess it's uninhabited. As one of the spirits of the forest, you're sent by the goddess Gaia to plant the first seeds across the barren land of Pangaea. Wherever your spirit figure touches the ground, it brings life to this already inhabited land. Uh-oh. Are you the colonizers? No. What are you turning into these trees? Each journey takes 2 actions that allow you to plant new seeds, move your spirit, play ritual cards, summon one of your ancient guardians of the world. There are creature rituals and land rituals. Both give you points to ascend the sacred mountain and raise in Gaia's favor. Creature ritual summons an elemental creature to roam the forest, which you summon through the weather. Okay, so you're getting weather tokens, etc. To play the land ritual, you have to grow your trees in a continuous path, connecting different biomes across the continent. The longer your path, more points you'll get. I see. So you're connecting from here to here, but why are your trees different colors? There are 3 ancient guardians. They all have different abilities. Graphics are... This is a bad campaign page. I hope the rulebook's better. It's just confusing. It's like the bear... If it's the ancient bear, why are you moving the serpent first, you know? And then where's the turtle? Where are the turtles? Oh, because that's your spirit placement, I guess? I don't know. Okay, so the Wild Woods allows you to add in additional treetops, which extend your seed spreading range. The taller the tree, the more seeds it can spread. I think that's the expression. So essentially, you're just trying to spread out, collect the most tokens that you can of the different biomes, spread your seed onto those to get tokens, to spend the tokens to summon guardians to the land to move up on this track. Because each guardian you summon is going to have a certain number of victory points, resource collecting, fulfill your objectives, while having another secondary objective of connecting your trees, or apparently not, just connecting any other trees you want. I think I would probably prefer where you would connect only with your trees, but it's probably going to be too mean. Cool, and whatever spirits you're summoning, they also correspond to one of the great beasts, one of the great creatures, it looks like, the specific ancients, and so you can use those to activate the ancients. That makes sense. So you're kind of chaining together what characters you want to purchase, to then activate your other people, to then create chains of trees and score points. Yeah, seems nice enough. Now that we got through that campaign, what are the pledge levels? Cool. So if you have Forests of Pangaea, you can play Dawn of Pangaea just by getting an expansion kit for $20, which feels really nice. They definitely didn't need to throw it in there because they could have made this a standalone thing. Or you can get the deluxe version of Dawn of Pangaea for 81 US, 61 US, 81 US, or the standard edition for 56 US, 10 layer 3D scoreboard Sacred Mountain. I think it is a bit weird that this is an expansion, but not an expansion. Or maybe it's a crossover expansion. Not really a clear campaign page, but I think Dawn of Pangaea would be the sort of way to go. Shipping to get to Canada, it's $20 US and 16 for the standard edition. little bit more for the expensive pledge. So if I just got the standard edition of Dawn of Pangaea, it's still going to cost me $100. I don't know. I think this looks good. I think like if it was in retail, I would consider it. I like the chaining that your cards then determine what bonus actions you get to do. I think that's potentially interesting. I think it looks pretty. I don't think it's going to be that complicated, so I think it'd be a nice, lightweight, easy to get to the table, like easy to pull new gamers in with how good it looks. I just don't know if it's going to have huge depth or not, but I think it could be good. That finishes Thursday, November 6th at 5:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I guess is going to change. I guess all of these times will probably be off by like an hour because we're switching to daylight savings time. In a day. All right, next up, we've got the Nature Big Box reprint and the Climate module. I think I've seen Nature on here a ton of times. Yeah, I remember looking at all these modules. I've covered this before in Crowdfunding Countdown. They just add in, all these modules just add in different tweaks to the gameplay system. And now they're adding in this 6th module, Climate. Oh boy, who doesn't want to think about climate? Experience the pinnacle of the nature game system in Climate, introducing a dynamic climate track and 8 new traits to help your species survive in extreme weather conditions, become nocturnal to escape the scorching heat, or grow thick fur to survive in a freezing ice age. Food is abundant when the climate is warm, scarce when it's pushed towards extreme heat or cold. So you can just get Climate for $25, 35 Canadian. I would probably just do it, get the online pledge, honestly, rather than getting a huge big box of this thing. Or you can get the base game and Climate for $60 if you just wanted a little entry cost. Or you get the huge big box if you didn't have it already, and that's $200 Canadian. Nature seems like a fine game. It's a simple system. Nature seems okay. As somebody who doesn't leave their house, as somebody who's allergic to leaving their house, as somebody who breaks out in hives anytime he sets foot out the door, I think Nature's okay. Nature gets a 5 out of 10 for me. The goal of the game essentially is to adapt your species in an ever-changing ecosystem where food is scarce and predators lurk. You'll receive 1 point for every population you keep alive each round. To track this, you'll place the food eaten by your population behind your player screen at the end of each round. So you're just scoring points. You want to try to keep as many animals alive as you can, knowing that some of them will die. You're basically just trying to buff your characters. It's kind of like the game Evolution. You're going to be playing these trait cards to add hunting value or defensive value or food value or whatever, survivability value, and all the cards kind of intersect. It seems okay. What is it on BGG? Yeah, it's sitting at a 7.2. It's not really that high up in terms of rank, probably underrated. Oh, it's just, yeah, I forgot it's a redesign of Evolution to make it more and more streamlined. I feel like with Evolution, they've redesigned it so many times that I just don't care to get this current redesign iteration. I know it's a big box, and I know they took a bunch of stuff out, and then they've added it in as modules, and then made it more expensive, but then there was Evolution first, and then there was Evolution in a different way, and it was all kind of chaining on the same system, where you play cards, you boost up your creatures, and you see what happens, right? Now my creatures have fur and can fly. Very fun. But yeah, not something I desperately need in my life. It's not going to give you that tableau builder feeling. It's going to give you more of like a card management and stat collection. I think I would want more of a tableau building game. So if you're interested, that finishes November 6th at 6 p.m. We're moving along to this one. Jounce! A frog-filled frenzy of flips, fancy footwork, and flavorful tiles. I just assumed this was like the leaping frog game, you know, the plastic frog. I don't know. I had a bucket of frogs when I was a kid, plastic frogs, and you push down on them, and then you release, and they go, yeah! They don't make the sound, though. You got to make the sound. If you don't make the sound, well, you're out. Not a real rule. But you push them down, and they go, yeah! And then you try to just flip them into a bucket, and that was it. And that was fine, and that's what I'm hoping this game is. And if it's anything other than that, I'm going to be disappointed. It's different. It's different. It's different. Looks like a real game. You play cards to move, simultaneous movement, and you don't want to crash into somebody else. But there are lots of frogs to choose from, so there you go. All right, collect bugs of different colors, complete special actions, steal valuable water lilies for extra points. Game ends when one bug color runs out. You plop down a bunch of lily pads. You've got a bunch of frog cards, which will let you jump to certain places depending upon where you are and the orientation. So that's kind of fun. Oh, that's cool. And you're building up potential abilities as well. So you might be incentivized to use your bugs for abilities. You only can hold 6 bugs. So you're trying to gather the cards or the bugs that you need to use your special abilities. And it's a whole thing of anticipating, hey, are you going to go for that red thing? So I like that it can give that potential. This is actually a lot better than I expected it to be. I clicked on it just because I wanted to talk about my little plastic frog bucket. Naturally, how could I miss an opportunity to talk about my little plastic frog bucket? You know me. I'm a little frog bucket boy. That was my nickname in high school. Kids can be so cruel. Hey, Anani, why don't you write a poem and don't attribute it to yourself? That's what that quote's from. Hey, Anonymous, why don't you give a tip for a crime without revealing your own identity? Kids can be so cruel. Yeah, you know what? I actually think this could be okay, but like, it's gotta be, you can laser cut your own copy. It's gotta be like massively expensive, right? 35, 49 Canadian, and then shipping is 30 to Canada. Ugh. So, you know, almost $100 to get this game. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. I actually think, I think it is, it has decent potential for a quick jumping around if you like frogs or something. You can check it out. The finish is Friday, November 7th at 2:13 a.m. We're not going to cover Cat in the 8 because that is nonsense. And also they decided to do the $1 pre-pledge, which we don't cover games that do the $1 pre-pledge. If you're new to the channel, I've spoken on this a number of times, regardless of what Caps and Stems creator responded to me about it. The guy, Caps and Stems, we're also not covering because they did a $1 pre-pledge. What did he say? He sent me an email, this creator, because he said, are you interested in reviewing Caps and Stems? And I said, are you using the $1 pre-pledge? He said, yeah, I've signed up with LaunchBoom for advice. He says, did you ask because it annoys you? I know it drives a lot of people crazy. I'm just following advice I've been given. I said, yeah, I don't provide coverage on those that decide to engage with what I believe to be an anti-consumer marketing tactic. I find LaunchBoom to be a company of ill repute. I have a video on the subject, as does Board Game Co. There are many videos on the subject. I appreciate you being upfront with me about who you're working with, though, so I don't waste my time. I wish you all the best. And he shared with me, like, yeah, I mean, I've been working on this game for a while, so I want to make sure to do it right. And he had a friend who lost a bunch of money because he just ran ads and didn't have a plan. So he went to some online workshops that LaunchBoom did, who said they gave him templates for the landing page. Yeah, the standard landing page that is the verbatim what LaunchBoom just writes out, give you a checklist, and he says their data shows, unfortunately, that only about 5% of the people who share their email actually back your game when you launch. However, if you create an additional hurdle like committing $1 up front, the people willing to do that are much more invested in your idea than the others and tend to back your project at a rate closer to 50%. Yeah. That's my point. That's why I don't cover it. What's so interesting is that the crowdfunding has shifted with this mindset. He also said, what do I offer for the $1? I just offer a discount, a $10 mini expansion that's going to be available on Kickstarter for $6. Gets offered for $1. And he says, it helps me get the data I need to know when is the time to launch. When do I have enough support? And should I launch at all? Maybe the indicators look bad and it's just not going to work out. Because again, the goal being if you don't hit your goal on day one, there's the worry that, you know, the mysterious algorithm isn't going to push it to the top. And legit, like if you don't hit your goal on day one on Kickstarter, I understand the reason why you have to do pre-pledge marketing. I do. I don't know. It still just feels scummy to me, you know? It's like, let me pay you for using my data is what some people have. Yeah, but it was nice. He did say at the end, all this is probably irrelevant from the consumer perspective, and enough consumers express hatred for the practice. Of course, we will have to discontinue it because it will hurt our results rather than help them. It's quite possible this strategy will only be relevant for a few years and then stop working, but for now, it's the advice I've been given. It seems to be helping. I'm not sure I'll have enough $1 reservations to indicate that I'll make my goal right away. My game is a little expensive because of all the pieces, but the response so far seems pretty good. About 5 people have expressed outrage, and about 500 people have given me $1. Is this an ad for using the $1 pre-pledge? No, because while some campaigns succeed, others succeed significantly less. I still think it represents a weird sort of buy-in, and I still think it's friggin' ludicrous that people offer this $1 with this mini expansion often the time, and I still think it's ludicrous that people offer a mini expansion that often the time doesn't exist, or exists for this sole reason of generating hype or whatever, with like a sketch of the page. Probably the reservation page doesn't exist anymore, so we can't look at it, but often these reservation pages are like, hey, our game's cute, back for $1. And so you can't honestly tell me that that's people buying into your idea. No, that's people buying into people to being like, oh, cute thing. And then they're like, oh yeah, I already kind of mentally bought that cute thing. so I'll buy the cute thing. And I still believe that's anti-consumer, because you're going to end up with consumers who are not informed, and that's on them. That's 100% on them. That's what this channel is just trying to be, to make people informed, or make sure that the right games get into the right people's hands. And I think it doesn't care about the right games getting into people's hands. It just cares about games getting into people's hands. Anyway, I've talked about it a lot, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to do a tangent, but he sent me a nice, I thought that was a nice email explaining his reasoning. And so, yeah, sure, share that guy's thoughts. But I refuse to normalize it. I refuse to slip into being like, well, I guess it's okay. Stop it. But it's not going to stop. But it doesn't mean I have to cover it. And I know, probably just a drop in the bucket, but hey, it's my bucket. Isle of Feathers. Next up, this we got. Isle of Feathers, a love letter to strange birds. 52 species, one small island. Build off your friends' carefully laid plans in this fast-paced, bird-based spatial puzzle. You know what Crowdfunding Countdown is for? It's legitimately for Jounce. Like, nobody's looking at Jounce. Nobody cares about Jounce. It's got 26 backers, and they're probably all friends. Like, nobody cares about this game, but I think it's decent. I mean, it's probably still too expensive to get it to me in Canada, because everything is too expensive for me because I'm poor. I spent all my money on Uprising, and I might be spending it again this episode. But yeah, like, this is what I like. Grassroots, like, this is why I turn to crowdfunding. This is why I dig through it. Who else is covering Jounce out there? Show me one friggin' one. There's no videos on Jounce. They can't do anything. Sorry, Jounce, you're catching strays here, but yeah, look at that. You're making your own stuff. You did it. You got a little game out. It's not meant to sound condescending if it does, but like, these are the things that I like to cover. The things that don't have money to spend and just have a dream, or games that are going to be like really, really good. And pretty much all across the board, anytime with like a $1 pre-pledge that I've looked into it, they haven't been good games. There's like maybe 3 out of how many have used them. Like I can't think of a game on that list that, like, I think there was like March of the Ants. I heard that one was good. You know, I think Explorers of Navoria did it, and that one, I don't know. I watched people play it a bit at WSBG, because Dice Tower did a playthrough of it for some reason, and it was a big barrel of who cares for me. You know, none of these are going to live past one play, at least for me. But Jounce, well, to be fair, they're all about the same quality of Jounce. But I think Jounce actually could have some legs if you really like that. Like, what are you doing? What are you up to over there? What are you up to? What are you up to? That sort of thing. All right, let's keep moving. I'm getting sidetracked. We're going to Isle of Feathers. Okay, let's see. Lay tiles, hatch a plan, have a lark. Good one. What a great shot that was. How'd they get that shot? Their pet little turkey vulture? Come on. Right by the game? Nailed it. Filmmaker's dream. Okay, so this is like Harmonies-esque, but competitive Harmonies. I think this looks nice, because it's kind of like Santorini meets Harmonies, right? And it's back. Oh, he's so happy. Filmmaker's dream. That's the star of the show right there. I hope he's being paid at double scale. Oh, if he'd gone through that little thing, I'm not even listening anymore. We're not listening. We bring back the vulture. I just keep on wanting to call it Isle of Birds, or Isle of Strange Birds. I think Isle of Strange Birds. You should change the title to Isle of Strange Birds. Isle of Feathers? Who cares? Isle of Strange Birds? I'm interested. Change the title. You're welcome. You're welcome. I just sold 1,000 copies more. Isle of Strange Birds? Come on. It's like Isle of Cats, and then Isle of Strange Birds. Isle of Feathers? Some of these birds don't even have feathers. You're being featherist, okay? What about the birds that don't have feathers? What about the birds who get too stressed out and who take too many things onto their plate and suddenly realize that their feathers are falling out, or their feathers are turning gray? Not the feathers you might think of. Isle of Feathers? You featherist over there? Come on. Okay, how much are you? Because this essentially looks like Santorini meets Harmony. You're going to have cards in your hand which require a unique shape, a unique build-out of terrain that you're fighting to create. Somebody else is also fighting to create something different. So I could see how that would be frustrating. You're like, I just want to get these 3 patches of grass, and anytime I make some grass, you put a friggin' cloud on it. No, don't give me the hat reward first. Nobody wants a hat. What's the game? 60 Australian, 55 Canadian. Definitely is expensive because it's a smaller print run. Use your arsenal of ability tokens to reshape the land to your needs. Tell me more about these ability tokens. All right, you take 2 actions, then pass a card. Then pass a card. So there's always new birds circling the island. Well, you probably just pass the bird back and forth. That doesn't seem that interesting. It's like, You want this bird? It's like, no, this bird sucks. We'll just pass it back and forth until it becomes available. Now there's some sharing of information there. I presume these are the actions. Build the island, build land, build vegetation. Oh, discard a card to activate powerful special abilities that let you radically change the shape of the island. I like that too, because the dual use cards are great. Yeah, Isle of Strange Birds. Let's go. It's a cool little... Oh, and there's also an open market as well that you can potentially draw cards. When the last sand tile is placed, the end game is triggered. Once your turn finishes, every other player gets to have one last turn. Then the island's complete, the game's over. Yeah, I think it looks good. It's just, you know, too expensive for cheapy old me. But if you like Santorini and Harmonies, this is the blend of that. Shipping to Australia is 16 Australian dollars. Shipping to Canada is 31 Canadian dollars, right? So it'd be about, I really appreciate that they put it in the local currency, because basically every campaign doesn't. 31 Canadian, it'd be $86 to get this game. I think it's cute though. I'm very happy that it's reached its goal. What a delightful surprise. Like this is the reason. I was talking to a friend recently and they were like, hey, how often do you find a dime? Like, what do you like about Crowdfunding Countdown? Don't you get bored doing Crowdfunding Countdown? I was like, well, it depends. They're like, how do you stay with it? You've done it for now 210 episodes or 209 or whatever, because this is 210. And I said, well, I like it. I like becoming knowledgeable about games, and I like reading through the rules, and I like going in depth about things. But my favorite part is finding a game that I think is going to be bad when I look at it. Like the first initial impression is like, okay, this is going to be another slog. And then you watch the video, and then you're like, you get pulled into it and you suddenly think, oh, this is cool, right? The best case scenario, it's something like Holotype, which is, you know, one of my all-time favorite finds on Kickstarter, I would say, where you read it and you go like, yeah, this is going to be a great game. And I think this is close to that feeling. And they said, how often does this happen? I was like, I don't know. Maybe once every month. But it happened with Alice in Rolling Land, or whatever that one was called, Rolling in Alice Town. Columbo solves a mystery. I don't know, one of them. And it's kind of happens here. Like I look at this and I go, okay, I don't know what this is going to be. It's probably going to be bad. And then I look and I'm kind of delighted by it. So I have high hopes for Isle of Feathers, and it's just really, really nice. Especially in a week filled with $1 pre-pledges, it's really nice to see games, and hopefully I can help these sorts of games that deserve it stand out. So that finishes Friday, November 7th at 3:30 a.m. Moving along to this, here's one of those where I know it's going to be bad, but I just had to click on it because I click on everything. Spiders, the game. Okay, number one, that's how you came up with the game, right? There has to be nothing more to this game than it just being called Spiders, the game. There's going to be a bunch of cards you're going to draw from a deck. You're going to play those cards, and you're going to try to get the most spiders or not get the most spiders. Maybe give your friends 3 spiders and they're out. Or collect 4 spiders in your hand to be the Spider Queen. It's one of those two things. I haven't looked at it. This game is the Ant's Pants. Okay, how do you play? I love how they don't tell you the point of the game in that how to play video. But you're trying to get treasure cards. You play a bunch of cards. There are no spiders in this game. In fact, I think there are 0 spiders. You're fighting drop bears, not spiders at all. Why is it called spiders? Is it an anagram? So do you want to put... No, that would be Sediwi Tipaka. Sediwi Tipaka? And there's a bunch of shirts. And your treasure cards might have random numbers on them. So hey, at least I was wrong. They did pull the old switcheroo on me. There were no spiders. Where are the spiders? There had to have been spiders in that box. And if you open that box and there are no spiders, that means the spiders are somewhere in your house. Oh, hard pass. Let's move on to this one. Altered Seeds of Unity. Oh, that's what it is. The most crowdfunded TCG in history returns with Seeds of Unity, a unique set that will never be reprinted. Get stuff filled with exclusive cards, brand new mechanics, pre-order, play, collect, and help us write the next chapter of Altered Adventure. No, go away. Honestly, go away. We're not covering this. We're not covering a unique set that will never be reprinted. Like, why? Why? Because TCGs exist to inflate the value of their cards arbitrarily, to give you a collector's mentality, to have you spend money on things that aren't going to enrich your life. Get out of here. No. That's easy. I thought I was going to have to cover that. I'm absolutely not covering that. But I am covering Wonderlands War Duel, and this is hard because I am probably going to need it. But I haven't seen anything about Wonderlands War Duel yet. I've just looked up how much it's going to cost me to get Wonderlands 4 and the expansions. And I gotta probably do it because it's an amazing game. It's just an amazing game. It's so good. There's a reason it's so expensive, and that reason is deluxification. And the deluxe chips are so expensive too. I might try to go normal if there's an option without the deluxe chips, because it's all still deluxified. I don't need minis. I wish I could still get the standee version. Oh, if I could get the standee version, that would just be fantastic. There's the cheaper version doesn't have the $70 chips. The fact that they're $70, maybe I gotta try coin capsules. I gotta try the coin capsule route. That's probably what I'll do. Maybe I can talk myself down from the chips. But let's see what the dual version brings. Because Wonderlands 4, I've never played it at 2 players, and I could see it not being as interesting. I've only played it at 5 players, I think. I don't know if I've ever played it with less than 5 players. And with that, you have a lot of dynamic area control. Well, not dynamic, but you have at least people fighting for different versions of it. So I could see having a 2-player version might be actually very exciting. All right, a new 2-player edition. Compete to gain all the hearts, but don't go too mad. I see standees. That's what I want. Wonderland's more experience in 60 minutes. That's pretty good, because like the big one takes 2.5. So I am excited about this as well. I'll talk to you once I'm finished watching this. See, I really do like the new custom forge track that you can rotate those in. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if you can tell by my face, but my hype for this is Wonderlands War, I don't know where I put it. I think it was my number 20. I think it was my 20th game of all time, which I don't own. But I put it in my top 20 because it's just that good. It's so good. It's so fun. It's Battle Quacks of Quedlinburg. Quacks is also great, but it adds like a depth to the bag building that Quacks can only dream of. Man, it's just so good. Anyway, so I got to try out the White Queen. I played as the White Queen, and I played against the Caterpillar in May. It was May that I tried this out at KuppelCon, and at that point, I was underwhelmed by White Queen. But they've changed the White Queen completely. So I'm very happy that I was underwhelmed, because clearly everybody else was too. And that's why they've modified the Queen's abilities to make her more dynamic, which I think is great. So there's 2 things that we're covering here. Wonderlands War Duel, which I'm excited to check out and see what the new changes are. And then Wonderlands War, Caterpillar and White Queen. If you don't know Wonderlands War, it's exceptional. It's so good. You don't need this new expansion. It's just 2 additional characters. You're going to get a ton of play with the existing characters. They've been tested up the wazoo. You really don't need this White Queen, etc. expansion. In this expansion, the things that are exciting me are these variable forge tracks. So it just gives you a little bit more variability. Gives you a new set of minion abilities as well. So for your standard base minions, they're shifting up the abilities. This expansion seems like a home run, really, if you love the game. It's giving me everything that I would want to expand and improve upon the experience. Wonderlands War Duel, I'm interested in checking out and seeing. I think that the game Wonderlands War is probably not great with 2. I think it's probably okay at 3. I think you could get away with 3, but 4 and 5 is the pocket. Let's see what Board Game Geek is saying. Yeah, it's rated 138, best at 4. Okay, probably because 5 takes a little bit longer, and 3 recommended. So it's interesting. More people recommended at 3 than recommended at 5. So yeah, best at 4. Okay. Yeah, I could extend that with 3 then. I think best at 4 makes a lot of sense. I liked it at 5, but people probably don't like the time element to it. But yeah, it's a slam dunk, but I don't think it's good at 2, and I think this then addresses that as an issue. If you want that gameplay experience, let's see how well they did. Yeah, so you already own Wonderlands War, and it already has a 2-player mode. Why buy Wonderlands War Duel? Duel is more than a variant. It's a standalone game built from the ground up and optimized for 2-player experience. Duel offers all new ways to enjoy your Wonderlands War, including it being 60 minutes. You can play a full game in 60 minutes without losing any of the things that make the original special. That's a huge plus. You're competing for allegiance instead of points. See, I don't like this aspect, but that's just me personally. Your goal is to collect more than your opponent across the different types, but if you're careless and succumb to madness, you lose the game instantly. This feels, I guess you're going for majority in 3 of them, but it feels like you're just operating 3 or 5 tug of wars. Tug of war, I don't know. I think I'm okay. I'm like, it's all right. The tug of war that I want, me in a Bowser suit, facing 3 people. And I'm not talking about Mario Party. I'm talking about me in real life wearing a big Bowser suit against 3 people who are approximately the same strength as me. Because I just want to know if it will give me the powers and the strength. I need to know. So that's my ideal tug of war, and anything else is kind of just not as exciting to me. 3 clones of me, 1 in a suit, 3 of them looking at me, giving me the how you doing look. Because, I mean, come on, we're clones. We gotta support each other. I do love that there are 4 factions in Duel. I wasn't expecting there to be 4. I think that's a great choice. That's tasty. Yeah, asymmetric factions just friggin' get me. And I know they get so many of us, but it's just like, if it was 2, you go, whatever. And that's 4, you're like, I have variability. Oh, God! And I'm with you. All right, so that's all they're saying about Duel until we get to the rulebook. Sure, let's go right to the rulebook. Let's finish covering Duel, and then I'll talk about my experience with the White Queen and the Caterpillar. Each round you draft cards from the Tea Party, maybe in a line. It seems like it's in a line. Build your bet. Okay, we're just gonna skip to the. See, my problem with the price is that $49 is a good price, but then it becomes $70 for Canada, and then shipping makes it like $90. And I go, oh, can I justify spending $90 on like a 2-player version when I know I want to spend $400 on Wonderlands War? Ugh, there goes the Switch 2 fund. All right, so it seems like snake draft style. Okay, so how the drafting works, there's going to be 9 cards. One person's going to choose a row or column, so they get 3 cards. Then the next person basically gets 4 cards. You choose a row and a column, so 4 cards, and then you reverse it. Then whoever went second would get to choose 3 cards, and then the final person would get 4 cards. You get essentially 7 cards each. And you only do 2 rounds. You just do the Tea Party twice. The battle seems to be exactly the same. Oh, the Mad Hatter has a special oversized strength 2 chip shaped like a hat because of its unique shape and size. Is intended to be easily identifiable in the battle bag and can be drawn when desired. That's fun. The battle rules are the exact same as Wonderlands War. It incentivizes you to push to the end of the track because then you get a special bonus depending upon the region. And there are spots on the battle track which have allegiance token. Might be a bit too random, but it's just like trying to get a forge space. You can get influence other ways though, presumably by winning the battles. If you take your 13th Madness Shard at any time, you immediately lose the game. I think that's fun, threading that line. And if there's a tie, because if it's a tie and a tie, so then it's the player with the fewest Madness Shards. I like how the Madness Shards are shaping out to be. Yeah, it's going to be great. There's no bones about it. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great 2-player adaptation of it. Oh, no. And you can get Duel Deluxeified. Oh, no. For an additional 40. It's like it doubles it. Just doubles the price. I think coin capsules could work. Let's try coin capsules. Okay, so essentially the differences for the Caterpillar and the White Queen. Caterpillar have these smoke tokens, and basically they get to take a bunch of smoke tokens for themselves and give smoke tokens to their opponents. And their opponents can use their smoke tokens as benefits, which is really cool. You want to be around the Caterpillar because he's passing the duchy to the left-hand side, or his hookah or whatever. So I think that's fun, but he gets obviously way better versions of the smoke token. So his whole thing is accruing these smoke tokens and then using them for his abilities. The White Queen has these 3 chess pieces, the bishop, the king, and the knight. And I think you're going to now start with a few of them, whereas you had to earn them on the faction track beforehand, and they counted as like less figures for you, and they had effects on the battle, but the effects on the battle, I was like, I don't really care. And I then had to spend time resummoning them because one was like, oh, if it's use this to get double defense. I'm like, okay, sure, I get double defense, but then I have to keep resummoning it. I think everything from what I read in a little bit of the updates, everything looks better from the White Queen. And I think this seems neat. You get these special pieces that you get to put onto the board, and if you can use them effectively, you can really be dominant in the battle section. They're adding in the faction leaders as little chips, which sure are fun. If you're not playing with them because you have more people, you can then add the ones you're not playing with as faction leaders. So yeah, this is an interesting choice, right? If you could only get one, Duel or the additional people, it depends. Do you play as 2-player? Get Duel. Do you play as 4-player all the time? Get the factions, right? The thing that's also stopping me, I should have friggin' pulled the trigger way back when they were having that tariff sale, because they were selling it for like $100 US, and I didn't pull the trigger, and I don't know why. Oh, because I was trying to get a review copy. I think that's why. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, this is a tough one, but it's honestly not that tough because they're not really giving you anything stretch goal wise, right? They're giving you a slight discount on MSRP, about $10, but the shipping is $13. But you do the math, get it at a store later. I don't know what to tell you. I do think that a lot of stores don't carry Wonderlands War stuff because it's such a big friggin' box that to have it on the shelf takes up physical space. But yeah, this game is amazing. It really is amazing. I am upset that I'm not doing a 5 reasons you shouldn't back on it, because it deserves to hit over $1 million. I want everything new, and I want the game, and that would cost me $400 Canadian plus tax. So I don't know. I am going to get it at some point. Am I going to get it now? Probably not. Will I buy it down the line? Yeah. I just want to wait till it's on sale again, really, and then I'll get myself a copy. But it's so good. Like, it's so good. If you haven't played Wonderlands War, actively seek it out. It's such a fun bag builder, and then it combos bag building and area control so much. If you like Quacks of Quedlinburg and you wanted something even just a little bit deeper with that area control element on it, it's so good. It's in my top 20 games of all time. I need to have a copy in my personal collection. It's not a thing that's not going to happen. I don't know what is going to be removed so that I can fit it in the shelves, but something will be. Yeah, it's a huge table hog. It takes longer than it should, and I don't care. It's still amazing. If you have been interested in Wonderlands War and you've never played it before, the $50 dual version might be the way in. Really, it might be. Is there a group buy? Let's see. Oh, I think it said on it. Didn't it say that? Oh yeah, no group pledges. Our games are too big and too heavy for group pledging. Ordering multiples of these would require a second box for shipping, which incurs the full cost. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's such a good game. My other issue is that I know people who have this game, right? So it is harder for me to justify purchasing the game for myself, because I do know a bunch of people, multiple people who have it. But that doesn't matter because I still want it. Yeah, it's like a full $200 at 401, but I can go get it right now. If I just content myself with the base game, I could go get it right now. White Queen was fine. Caterpillar was cool. At least 401 usually has like a Black Friday sale where they do 10% off sometimes. So that might be it. That might be it. Anyway, I'm not getting it right now, but it's exceptional. And if you have disposable income, you should. That's basically what it boils down to. That finishes Friday, November 7th at 7 p.m. I imagine Duel will be great as well. I think it's going to be, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I do like the frenet. I do like multiple people, though. I think I am going to prefer the OG more because I like seeing multiple people battle. I like having multiple bag breakdowns. That's kind of fun. But if you just like building your own bag more solo, yeah. Anyway, okay, we're moving on. We're moving on to this, which is for sure bad, but again, we try to look at everything. This is Artisimo, the art judging party game. Unleash from Wonderlands War to Artisimo. We cover everything. Unleash your inner artist. No skills required in this hilarious, absurd art judging party game. That isn't going to tell me anything, right? It's Dixit without the fun, because the cards tell you what the prompts are, and you don't get to make them up yourself. And then they say, yes, you hit this the best. It'll say, paint me something pretty. And then you play one of your cards and you go, that's the prettiest one. Dixit's better, Mysterium's better, but like I understand the feeling behind it. And it's $20. So if that excites you, if you wanted more a party game, a potentially funny card game that you use pictures as your responses instead, and you want the game to tell you what to say instead of being creative with your own prompts, then you can check it out. It finishes Sunday, November 9th at 11:53 a.m. I just clicked on this briefly. It's never going to fund. This is Ocean's Genesis, because I was like, man, that box cover looks really nice. That's why I clicked on it. This is from a marine biologist, Martin, I guess. Martin? I don't know. But it's not doing well because they didn't really give you much. So you're making kind of a grid, and there are placement restrictions, and that's pretty much all you get right now. $131. We see why it's not funding. Lower the price, give us any indication on how the game is played, and maybe you get people. It's not even worth talking about. Unfortunately, not really worth talking about. I just clicked on it to see. Okay, we're moving on to DECKO. Not DECKO. That's somebody different, and he's my hero. But Academia. But we have DECKO. Poker meets deck building, an intense race to create the strongest deck. Each player starts with a basic poker deck. They will transform throughout the game by acquiring magical cards and powerful jokers, just like me. Stupid. Raise, fold, call bets while building your deck to amass the most poker chips and claim victory. It's a deck building poker game. Oh, special cards. Oh, okay. Some like flexibility and strategic jokers. I think this looks funny, because my biggest thing in poker is you see all these poker hands, especially with like 5-card draw, which is what this looks like to be. I like Hold'em the best because Hold'em's objectively the best. But if you get 5-card draw, you're like, hey, hope I draw the right cards. Now you can. Now you too can be like a mafioso who is at the mafioso beach event And, you know, the Mafioso beach events that you see in every Mafioso movie. Come on. They're all sitting there with their fedoras, and it keeps them looking cool, tough, and gives them sun protection. And they're always drawing straight flush, whatever. With a 5-card draw, get out of here. But now you can do it. Spicy. What sort of spicy? Oh, now there's the stinky cards. Okay, you're losing me, DECKO. You're really losing me. Players start with the same simple deck of cards. Cards you buy from the central area all have zany special rules, double cards, cards that destroy other cards. Every round, players get to burn 1 card, permanently removing it from the game. Then you can buy jokers from 6 different joker decks, each linked to an action. Raise jokers trigger when you raise a bet. Fold jokers trigger when you fold. This looks fun. Oh, how much are you? Oh, it's going to be so expensive. Oh, but that's just because it's with the poker chips, I'm sure. Oh, deluxe for everyone. No extra cost. Well, it is an extra cost because you've made it all deluxe. I mean, it's yeah. What about the non-deluxe? I want that one. That's the one I want. I don't want these chips. I don't want a neoprene playmat. I don't want any of this. What about the non-deluxe? But there's going to be a retail version, right? There's going to be a retail version, right? The game won't be available here. There'll be no retail version. Oh, game DECKO. What are you doing to me? You're not the hero I know. Bring back Izuku Midoriya. Oh, it's the designer of Moon and Villagers. This looks fun. This looks really fun. If you like poker, would have been too costly for the retail market. Gilded Pro Cut, like neoprene. Oh man, come on. Looking for the best value. I am. Where is it? Oh, it's $100. I can't buy this for $100. I'm hemming and hawing about Wonderlands War for $200. I'm not buying this for $100 when I got to buy Wonderlands War. I want this for $40. If it's $40, I pull the trigger right now, instantly. That's how taken in I am with this, even before reading a rulebook. Moon is great. I haven't played Villagers. How many cards do you get in your starting deck? That's what I'm interested in. 5 decks of 14 cards. That feels like a sweet spot. It does feel like the sweet spot if you're drawing 5 a hand. Game is played for a maximum of 12 rounds. The house always bet 5 cards from their hand. Okay. And then it's just poker. And then there's buying round. Interesting. Players who have not discarded their hands yet. Oh, by winning or folding. So if you fold or if you win, then you get to buy cards. So you got to stay in. That's weird. Not everybody gets to buy? So if you win the hand, you don't get to buy. Or if you fold, you don't get to buy? Yeah, how much money a player has to spend is decided by the set they scored. Interesting. So you have to stay in to buy things. I don't know if that feels really weird. That feels really weird. Everything else feels neat, but staying in to buy things feels weird. Is that just so weird? Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Shipping to the US is 13, Canada 17 euro. Like, it's over $100 for this thing. No, it seems cool, but why are you making me spend so much money? Ugh. If you're interested, though, that finishes on the 10th at 4 p.m. Moving along, we got this one, Starfriends, the 5-star game about whatever everyone else thinks. A party game where you get into your friends' heads, kind of like a blend of Wavelength and Letterbox that fits into a deck of cards. So you just got to predict how your friend's going to rate things, right? Oh, that's cool. So there's one guesser. So everybody else gives their 5-star rating. So it'll be food. What's 2-star food? Okay, so you know it's decade, and then everybody gives their star rating, and then it'll be, okay, it's the 80s. So it narrows it down, everybody rates it. Yeah, okay. I think you could play this without this game, though. That's the problem here. But it's only $15, 21 Canadian. So if you wanted a physical copy of it, but it is just kind of like a car game. You know what I mean? Like, you can play this driving in the car and you don't actually need a physical version. And that might actually be the better application for it. But yeah, I expected to think this was a bad game, and I think it's actually fun. I also think it is immediately irrelevant because you don't need the cards, you don't need the components. You can just make it yourself. But a cool concept. I like that as that's an interesting idea, right? Like, there are a few games like this that we've stumbled across that I go, yeah, cool idea. Don't need the physical product. But then again, I don't feel like I need the physical product for Celebrity. And there is a whole box of moinkers or more moinkers, monikers out there that people really like and enjoy. So maybe that's you. Maybe you want this as well, in a physical version that finishes Monday, November 10th at 9 p.m. Okay, we're moving along to Theocratia, the reboot. Manipulate the civilizations of a remote island, shaping their growth and destiny, all to become the most worshipped god. Well, now you're talking. Now you're speaking my language. Brand new T game. Oh, it's a T game, and it was a relaunch, and it's not doing well whatsoever. Andrew Bosley art, Daniel Tassini. Oh, is Tassini the racist one? Then again, if Hansem Gluck cut ties with him. Can't be that bad. Yeah, I just looked up. He was the one. So it's great having a civilization from somebody who might have used the N-word. Ah! Anyway, that's probably why it's not doing well, because his reputation is friggin' in the can. Maybe, or maybe it just sucks. Okay, cool. You last 5 rounds, you roll 9 dice. Each number on the dice represents an action of civs that civs can perform as indicated on the game board. In your turn, you draft 2 dice, one at a time. Oh, so you draft one, do the action, then draft another one. At the end of each round, once all players have taken their actions, the 4 civs will perform an additional action determined by their current development card. I think it's really weird to call like this the T series of games. Mechanically, they're not the same. It's just they all start with the letter T. Does that make it a series? No, that's just, is Freedom and Frieza doing the F series? No, he's our favorite F boy, but that's different. He doesn't call it the F series. He just likes to F, and we love that about Freedom and Frieza. Board gaming's biggest F boy. Yeah, I wouldn't look to the rulebook. I would look to Board Game Ramblings video. That was a nice breakdown. This rulebook is dense. But essentially what you're doing is you are not controlling the civilizations, you're controlling the land. And you have 4 different civilizations. You're going to get points in all 4 of these civilizations, and then you remove the one that you've gotten the most points in, kind of a take on Knizia scoring to score at the end. With your dice drafting abilities, manipulating the land, manipulating each one of these tracks so that you get points in all of them. I think that sounds interesting as a concept for sure. It's a bit expensive. The retail edition is sitting at $70, so $100 Canadian. There's a premium edition, and then there's a premium with a signed postcard. But they're like, listen, if you don't want the signed postcard, that's okay. I did look it up. Tassini did apologize, and then he apologized once because Board and Dice was like, we're not going to work with you. And then he apologized, being like, I don't get what the big deal is, but I guess it's kind of your problem, but sure, whatever, I'm sorry. And then people were like, yo, that's actually not you taking responsibility for the potential harm you could have caused. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm actually sorry. But who knows? So hopefully he's sorry. That was a bit ago. He's still doing his little T series. I kind of would like to see cultural consult. Like, I don't need cultural consultants in every game, but I kind of would like a cultural consultant in a game about fictional civilizations. Well, I guess they're fictional. So what cultural consultant can you get? That's the argument. But then you're like, well, why they got to be black? I don't know. I just kind of go like, maybe that's just me. But yeah, it seems okay. I think it's a very unique twist on a civilization game. The scoring, Knizia scoring is always kind of fun. A little bit more forgiving Knizia scoring too. So you can check that out if you want. Really not doing well though. And that finishes on the 11th at 5:59 p.m. I clicked on this. This is Mexico Train Loomino, the next level dominoes, a modern twist on the classic Mexican Train domino game, probably because they're curved. And so they are inherently less flexible? No, it still has one end and another end. There are no doubles? There probably are doubles. What's the difference? But one... We all know and love Mexican Train dominoes. Of course we do. The game that turns classic dominoes into chaotic, social, and strategic fun. I think we're being pretty loose with all those terms. But what if those dominoes weren't straight? What if those dominoes weren't straight? Maybe this is a great game to subtly come out. It's just curved. They're like, what if we curved the dominoes? Oh, that's so funny. There's nothing more. There's nothing more to this. With a loop twist, you must match numbers end to end. Every move sends the game twisting into beautiful chaos. Oh, okay. So it like kind of twists. All right. I see it's a little bit more, because if it's like twisting towards someone, then you can maybe block people. I don't know. You're just going to go in one squiggle line. You're not going to really flow. I don't think so. You can block paths though. So there's a potential to block paths. So there's something different. That finishes November 11th at 9 a.m. And then finally, our last one is Chronicles of Crime, still around. Sorry, Beyond Doubt. The 3rd installment of the award-winning smash hit board game when you become a detective cracking a case. It's been a while since we've seen the last Chronicles of Crime. I think the last Chronicles of Crime that I'm aware of was like the 1916, the Time series. And so here we've got 3 new boxes of Chronicles of Crime. They're each probably going to be what, $20? €25. Yeah, one file is €25. And this one has an Eldritch Horror theme, or a Stranger Things theme, or a NCIS a Law and Order theme, because they're like, listen, we got to get in on this IP thing. People like these things. Let's make cases in those themes. Sure. I talked about this in the September Deathmatch just recently. The best games to play once and only once. I think Chronicles of Crime is a great game to play once, for sure. I think it's really fun until you see it all, and then you go, okay, I never have to play this again. And I think it is absolutely worth getting. Do you need to get this special version? You can go out and get any box of Chronicles of Crime, and it will all provide you with the same experience. I think it's a great experience until you're done with it. And then you're done with it. But until that happens, yeah, for sure a great experience. When will that happen? I don't know. After one box, probably. You get to the second box and you're like, oh yeah, I've played this before and I don't want to read this aloud. If you like solo games too, maybe it's really good for solo, because that was what I got tired. That was the one thing that I got really tired of, is I was like, I don't want to sit here and read to you. I don't. And then I subsequently got fired from my job at the nursing home, but that's neither here nor there. Like, that's what you were hired to do. I was like, I don't want to. That finishes Tuesday, November 11th at 8 p.m. That is it for the week. Now, every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. The pick for me being the thing I think is the most interesting, and the pick for you being the thing I think if you get, you would regret the least. Now, it's very obvious what one of these picks is going to be. We all know this. It's Wonderlands War. But I'm just deciding what the pick for... That's probably the pick for you, or it's a pick for me. I don't know. But I think I'm going to make the pick for me something a little bit different. Oh, but before we do that, I almost forgot to do my grunt down. Who am I thinking? Who am I thinking? Let's grunt about some games, shall we? Who am I thinking? What am I thinking? God, you idiot. Absolutely not. Get bounce off. Absolutely not. No. Meh. War. Meh. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. No. Obviously. Meh. What if it wasn't straight? And I don't know. We know what the pick for me is. The pick for me is going to be if, and there's, the condition, if they change it to Isle of Strange Birds. Change it to Isle of Strange Birds and it'll be the pick for me. Otherwise, the pick for me and you is going to be Wonderlands War. And Wonderlands War Duel, depending upon what you like. It's so good. It's so good. What can I say? It's so good. It's amazing. It's exceptional. It's so good. And it's really fun. And it takes too long, but it's still really fun. So maybe Duel's better. I don't know. But yeah, those are the picks. Isle of Feathers or Isle of Strange Birds and Wonderlands War. Exceptional. That's another week done. That's another week in the bag. Thanks for hanging out with me. I like hanging out with you. But now I have to go. I'm trying to bulk record as many WSBG games as I can in terms of the commentary. If you want more content of me speaking, and showing you how good of a board gamer I am, well, you can go to the World Series of Board Gaming's YouTube channel as well, where I've been doing sort of 3-hour commentary on all of the games with some of the best board gamers in the world. Like, legit, they are the best board gamers in the world. I've been doing commentary with these people, or the designers as well. And so it's really cool to hear a designer talk about the games, talk about people's decisions, and when they're really knowledgeable about their games too. So I just released the Brass Birmingham semifinal with a 2-time ring winner, Yuka, and then I'm going to do the ring final. I just filmed that one. That'll be out later in November because I'm not going to go back to back. But with the team from Roxley, so Gavin and Adam from Roxley, we talked a little bit about Pittsburgh, which sounds so freaking good. Yeah, so I'm trying to get all that done before I go to... I'm going to Morrisburg, Ontario, again, to do a Christmas Carol this December. So if you're in the area of Morrisburg, Ontario, and you want to see a Christmas Carol, I will be there December 4th to the 21st. But I have to go a little bit earlier for rehearsal stuff. So don't worry. The closet may be back, depending upon where I'm staying. But I might be staying at the place with the wood paneling. Ooh! For all of you Long Ruin board watchers, you'll get one or the other. And you might get the unfortunate mutton chops, which I'm hoping desperately isn't a thing, but also a reason why I have to get WSBG videos done, because that can't be my professional appearance. You're riffraff. We know this. I can do what I want on this channel and be myself. I have to be presentable on WSBG, and mutton chops on my face are not presentable. And if you need to see the proof, go watch the Red Cathedral review. Anyway, there you go. That's the end of this video and a little bit of some other stuff. So go check out WSBG if you haven't subscribed to that channel. Please go do it, because then it seems like I'm doing really good at my job. And then maybe I can keep getting hired by them. That would be nice. Thanks for being here. As always, I think you're all the best, and I wish you all the best. And I'm Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but guess what? I am the best. I'm not, but I might get to play brass Pittsburgh against people who are the best. And then if I win that, then I might be the best. No, I can't be the best. You know why? You're the best. I'll see you later.